Hey everybody, welcome back. So I want to do a just quick rundown of the Arrow titles that just got announced that are coming out in November. A couple surprises and a couple we've been sort of waiting on. So real quick, let me just get the UK only title out of the way, and that is a deluxe edition of Fear, Loathing in Las Vegas. Now that's available in the US from Criterion, but Arrow is doing a new edition with a brand new 4K transfer, as well as the documentary For No Good Reason about illustrator Ralph Steadman on a separate disc. So that will be in the limited edition one, and it's coming, looks like in one of those sort of, sturdy box sets that Arrow does. So disc 2 will have the documentary, and disc 1 will basically have the bulk of everything. It obviously has the movie with the new transfer, and it will have a new commentary by Terry Gilliam, moderated by Phil Stubbs, a new interview with producer Layla Nabalsi, a new interview with cinematographer Nicola Pecorini, a newly filmed appreciation by Ian Christie, author of Gilliam on Gilliam, as well as 4 deleted scenes with optional commentary, spotlight on location, behind the scenes B-roll footage, and additional EPK interviews with Gilliam, Depp, and Del Toro, as well as the trailers and TV spots. Now, I don't know how much of the Criterion extras will be on here or not, including some of the commentary tracks or not. Some of that may find its way over here, because again, it does say that other extras are being worked on. But again, that is UK only, so it'd be Region B, and that is stated for November 25th. Next up is Apprentice to Murder, which I think this one is actually US only. That's coming out November 5th, and that has a brand new 2K restoration from the 35mm Interpositive, original lossless mono soundtrack, as well as subtitles, and a new audio commentary with author and critic Brian Reisman, a brand new video interview on religious horror cinema with Kat Ellinger, a new video interview with cinematographer Kelvin Pike, and a new interview with makeup supervisor Robin Grantham, as well as the trailer. And again, that's coming out November 5th. Coming out in both the US and the UK on November 19th is Hitchhike to Hell. That's getting a brand new 2K restoration from original film elements. It'll be in 2 aspect ratios, both 1.33 to 1 and 1.78 to 1 versions of the feature. Aspect ratio actually should have the 2:1 on it. Minor thing, but the original mono audio as well as subtitles, and a newly filmed appreciation by Nightmare USA author Stephen Thrower, which is a great book, by the way. Road to Nowhere, Hitchhiking Culture Goes to Hell, brand new video essay by Alexandra Heller Nicholas, exploring the dark side of hitchhiking in the real world and on the screen, as well as the original theatrical trailer and the original press book included as a BD-ROM extra. And again, that's coming out on November 19th. For those of you who did not pick up the Region B release from last year, good news is it looks like a lot of the sort of New World titles are sort of tied up a little bit in the US and did get released in the UK from Arrow before are starting to come over here. For example, Elvira, their release from last year, is actually coming out in the US at some point. And in this case here, of course, Flowers in the Attic from last year is coming out here in the US on November 12th, and it'll have high-def transfer. And I believe the transfer is actually the pre-existing transfer. It's an older transfer, but Arrow was able to do at least a little bit more just cleanup work on it. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it actually looks pretty decent. As well as the original stereo, audio, and subtitles. Has a new audio commentary by Kat Ellinger, Home Sweet Home, filming Flowers in the Attic, a new interview with cinematographer Frank Byers, Fear and Wonder, designing Flowers in the Attic, a new interview with production designer John Muto, Devil's Spawn, playing Flowers in the Attic, a new interview with actor Jeb Stewart Adams, Shattered Innocence, composing Flowers in the Attic, a new interview with composer Christopher Young. Great score, by the way. I keep hoping that gets re-released. Production gallery, behind the scenes images, the original studio vetoed ending, as well as the revised ending with commentary by replacement director Tony Caden, and the original theatrical trailer. and that is coming out on November 12th. Now, the big one, obviously we've known about this one for a while, that is a brand new special edition of Robocop, which also have like postcards and a double-sided poster and a booklet on some writings on the film and everything. So this is coming out in both the US and the UK on November 26th, so just in time for Thanksgiving. So disc 1 will have the director's cut and disc 2 will have the theatrical cut. Now, this does not have a brand new transfer, but there was a 4K transfer that was done by MGM several years ago, which they're using. I believe they did a couple more cleanup work on the transfer. But I mean, the transfer that MGM did a couple years ago is really nice. I think they did it around the time I think the remake came out and everything, and sort of re-release it on Blu-ray, but it did have a new transfer and it looks amazing. So that transfer is going to be on this release. It's going to have the original commentary with Paul Verhoeven and producer John Davison and writer Ed Neumeyer. I think that goes back to maybe the Criterion release from ways back. But it does have a new commentary with film historian Paul M. Salmon, a new commentary by fans Christopher Griffiths, Gary Smart, and Eastwood Allen. Future of Law Enforcement, Creating Robocop, a newly filmed interview with co-writer Michael Miner. Robotalk, a newly filmed conversation between writer Ed Neumeyer and filmmakers David Burke and Nick McCarthy. Truth of Character, a new interview with star Nancy Allen. Casting Old Detroit, a new interview with casting director Julie Seltzer. Connecting the Shots, a newly filmed interview with second unit director and frequent Verhoeven collaborator Mark Goldblatt. Composing Robocop, a tribute to composer Basil Polidorus. Fantastic score. A lot of his scores are fantastic. Really sad when he passed away. Roboprops, a newly filmed tour of superfan Julian Dumont's collection of original props and memorabilia. A 2012 Q&A with the filmmakers. Robocop, Creating a Legend, Villains of Old Detroit, and Special Effects. I think some of these were on the previous release, if I'm not mistaken. Paul Verhoeven, Easter egg for deleted scenes of Boardroom, storyboard with commentary by Phil Tippett. The director's cut production footage, raw dailies from the filming of the unrated gore scenes, 2 theatrical trailers, and 3 TV spots. And then on disc 2, with the theatrical cut, it'll have the commentary again, that archival one with Paul Verhoeven, John Davison, and Ed Neumeyer. 2 isolated score tracks. The edited for television version of the film, featuring alternate dubs, takes, and edits of several scenes, which is in standard definition only. A split screen comparison of the theatrical and director's cuts, and then Robocop edited for television, a compilation of alternate scenes from 2 edited for television versions, newly transferred in HD from recently unearthed 35mm elements. Interesting add-on, the fact that they not only have that, but they also have the actual full television version. And for those of you who are interested in steelbooks, they will also be releasing Robocop in a steelbook edition. So obviously you won't get some of the sort of extra bits, like the postcards and things like that in the poster. But it does come in this really awesome looking steelbook edition, which has the original poster artwork on the front. So again, as much as I was wishing that Robocop would get an actual 4K release, this still does look like a really nice edition. And again, that is coming out November 26th. So that's it for the Arrow releases that are coming up in November. So let me know which ones you are looking forward, if there's any ones you plan on picking up. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.